My sister, I have my therapy session that I had with my sister before she passed. She was sharing her therapy session with her therapist with me, and she didn't want to tell me. She wasn't communicating because she was ashamed, and I understand why. In the night, it makes sense. Anita, her daughter, uh, she told me I uploaded video. She's telling me that she doesn't want me up posting on Facebook and YouTube her images of her dancing next to my highly sexualized social media. And then she asks me, "Are you getting off on my? I mean, meaning me." She's saying, Zeke, are you jerking off to my picture? Me jerking off to my niece. She's asking me that, and I have the recording. It had me baffled why she would ask that, and then later I had insight why. My sister and I and my mom were living in one tiny bedroom. We all slept in one tiny bedroom. When my brother died on the bottom floor of 22 Minster Court, it was a flats in England, in North Ealing. When he passed, we didn't need to be in the bottom floor. He was put in the bottom floor because he was cancer patient, and he would have nurses come and visit him there to clean him. And then when he passed, we moved to several floors up. I think four floors up in a smaller place. And it was only one bedroom. Me, my mom, and my sister were staying there. And I reached puberty there. I had a rash down there. They kept asking, mom kept asking to check that for to check the rash. And then my sister, I have the text conversation. So why did you come in that day? We need to check the rash to see if it needs to see doctor. And I said, look, Alice, the doctors in England have always been universal healthcare. You just go in, there's no paperwork, you just write your name, they see you. There was no cost at all to see doctor. So that was the excuse. And so I've known me and also friends I've known who had their first sexual experience was like incest or something taboo, and they feel shame because of it. And then so Garine, I had actually shown you video of Garine talking about when she was a child, she was in bed with a mom and dad, and they were drunk, and sexual happened with her and her dad, and then she's always been ashamed because it was her first sexual experience. Um, that's what she desired, is her own dad's penis. And so you understand, because it's taboo, she her whole life she hates herself because she has that sexual desire for her dad. My mom, the reason every day she was calling 911, yelling at the neighbors because to cover up that she wanted me sexually. My sister had that, and then she couldn't take it. She died because she wouldn't yell. She grew cancer tumors because she had that. Cancer is socially acceptable way for someone to kill themselves without actually, taking overt action. So, so I feel that Alice wouldn't communicate. In that therapy session, I asked her to reveal what she had discussed. I knew that was it, but she didn't want to. She wasn't communicating because she was ashamed of it. So she died without that voice being heard. Her daughter is voicing. I feel Anita wouldn't say that if she wasn't feeling it. She's voicing that because she wouldn't admit it. I think if she hears this, she will explode because she was saying that when she has a repetitive thought or um, phrase, the way she deals with it, she writes it down and then waits for it to pass. So she's had that condition where I think she's in denial and her soul is trying to get through to her because she's a narcissist. Um, narcissism is a rejection of reality. So she doesn't want to hear it. She wants to shut it out. We're going to be watching Robert De Niro in the movie um, Hide and Seek. That's another one. He puts very heavy headphones on, and then his daughter is the girl who plays Wednesday Addams. Keeps saying, Charlie, Charlie did it, Charlie did it. They think it's an imaginary friend. It's not an imaginary friend. It's the Robert De Niro character himself has split personality. And he doesn't know it. He's shutting out that he himself killed his own wife. He's shutting it out. Every night at 3 a.m., that Charlie side of him comes out and does horrible things. So I'm aware of that. The people who have something horrible and the personality fractures, it breaks part of themselves that they hide because it's so atrocious to them. You see? So I know this because I've been involved in families, including my own, that have this going on. Generational trauma, passed on abuse that goes on. There's murder in these families that I've reported. There's rape, there's consensual incest going on in families that I'm involved in. And they don't report it because they want to protect the perpetrator. They're actually okay with it. They actually support it because they grew up in it. And then whether it's Stockholm Syndrome or trauma bond or maybe some other, the abuser and the perpetrator and the target, they consent to it. They go on doing it. They don't, if someone reports it, at church, Steve took Mario to court. Mario is his daughter's boyfriend. Mario has sex with his daughter and their daughter, his granddaughter. It's consensual incest. When he took Mario to court, the daughter and the granddaughter both support Mario. They're okay with it. They don't mind. So the court says inconclusive. They don't prosecute him for having sex with his own daughter because his own daughter, consensual incest. The church doesn't, the court doesn't prosecute.